What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the farm. Boil number one, syrup season 2023. We are just getting going. Been back here, had the fire going about 45 minutes so far, so haven't made too much progress. Back here, just hanging out. Got the trusty Steve brisket with me. So we have collected about 130, 140 gallons this week. Had the RO going all week long. So have around, I'd say around 60 gallons of RO'd sap that we're gonna process today. So it shouldn't be too long of a day. My buddy John, he is bringing by some sap that he has collected as well. Not quite sure how much he's gonna have, but as soon as he gets that brought over, we will get it going over here on the RO. So we're pulling water out of that while we have the boiler going. So we're gonna be trying to get as much of that RO'd before it goes on to the arch as we can to try to save us a little bit of time. See, we got a good hard boil going. Probably about time to get the pre-warmer dribbling. We got that full up there. What do you think, Brisky? So far this season, I have just under 50 taps out. I believe it's 49. Don't check my math, but I believe that it's 49. Gonna try to get about another 20 out this week. You see behind me here, you kind of see behind me. There we go, it's doing this face tracking thing. I have the rest of the buckets, so this morning while I'm just keeping the fire going, I'm gonna shove some tubes in some buckets, so then when I go out to collect tomorrow on Monday, I can just take the buckets out with me along with the collection stuff. I can collect and get some new taps out. So that's the plan for tomorrow, but for today, hang out and watch it burn. We are getting close to our first draw off. I mean, you really can see here, we got three very distinct different looks going on in our tray here. This is where we got our fresh sap coming in from the warming tray, comes down, goes through a baffle here, up this middle tray, then there's another little cutout down at the end, comes down into here. So we're at about 218 degrees here. So I'm gonna show you the things we're doing to get ready for our draw off. I keep the filters hung up here inside the steam hood to keep those a little bit damp and warm. We have our vacuum filter over here. I have this full of water right now. We're getting this warmed up. We want to keep everything, that 180 degree mark that we filter at. We want to try to stay as close to that as possible. So we're sanitizing our bottles at the same time we're going into them. So when we do our draw off, we'll go straight into our vacuum filter. We'll be filtering, and then we'll be ready to bottle right away. So we want to make sure all of that's warm. So as soon as the hot syrup goes in here, it doesn't rob any of that heat when we put it into the cold stainless steel of that pot. So then when we come over and bottle, we're still at a warm enough temperature that we are sanitizing the bottles as we go into them. Okay, so now we're getting ready to do our draw off. What I have here is a slurry of diatomaceous earth and some of the syrup. It's just a couple tablespoons of diatomaceous earth. I put that in first on top of the filter. You can put it straight into your syrup also. There's another way to do it. And the diatomaceous earth helps to grab all of that sugar sand and niter and helps it get caught inside of the filter. So we're gonna draw everything off. We'll fire up the vacuum pump and then we'll be ready to bottle. This is our last draw off of the day. Actually didn't end up recording that first one, just talked right through it. Forgot to grab the camera. So we're actually trying to get everything off of the pan. You can see we're getting real frothy here. We're going a little bit past syrup on some of this, but we should be okay because it's all gonna mix here inside of the filter pot, inside of the vacuum filter. So it'll all mix together and come out a nice product on the other side. Now we're getting ready to bottle. We've got it all filtered. You see we're just above 180, so we should be perfect for making sure that we sanitize those bottles as we go in. Just to give you guys an idea how good that vacuum filter works. You can see how much sugar sand it captures. And then, woo, it's hot. You can see how clear the syrup came out. Well, that was a pretty good first day of sugaring. We ended up with 23 full bottles. Did not quite boil through everything. Today's Sunday, planning on, I don't know if I mentioned in the video, but our buddy John, he ended up bringing me right at about 45 gallons of sap. Did not get to any of his. Decided to just go ahead, let's let the RO do its thing and get it concentrated and not spend a bunch of time with it, messing around with it on the pan. So today's Sunday, probably gonna mess around with boiling that on Tuesday or Wednesday, along with whatever sap I get over the next few days. We'll let the RO do its thing with that as well. And we'll do a small boil on probably Wednesday night. So the syrup ended up really crystal clear. I hope you guys can kind of see that on the camera. But I'm really happy with the quality. It's that, grade A, real light, early season, typical stuff. So I am hoping to get a bunch of sugar content out this year, other than just like the usual syrup vlogs that I have done in the past. Hoping to do a couple of how-tos. Those seem like they do pretty well, so we're gonna try to get a couple of those out there. Maybe we can start messing around with doing a couple of shorts. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, think about hitting that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, y'all, we will see you.